Hello and welcome. My name is Melissa. I am the owner and artist at the Top Drawer RVA located in Richmond, Virginia. I'm also a Dixie Belle brand ambassador. And today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about ombre blending. Okay, let's talk about ombre. What is ombre? Basically, it's blending colors. It's blending more than one color of paint on a piece of furniture. So today, the piece that I'm going to show you and the piece we're going to work on together is very, very tall. It's an armoire, and I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to blend my paint from dark to light all the way up the piece. This is going to showcase some beautiful blended Dixie Belle colors in a gorgeous way on a tall piece of furniture. Stay tuned, get ready to have some fun. Let's start with the first thing, cleaning well with white lightning. White lightning will remove any oils or dirt on the project. Since this Bombay style cabinet was very slick and shiny, Slick Stick was needed for preparation. Slick Stick is a primer for slick and shiny surfaces. It's going to provide a grip for your paint to stick to. I applied 2 even coats, waiting 24 hours before paint. Let's go over a couple of things that you're going to need to achieve an ombre effect. You're going to want a spray misting bottle filled with water. This helps keep your paint wet and movable. You're also going to need a separate brush for each color used today. Today, I'm going to show you how I blended on the side of this piece, which I continued all the way around, as well as blending from the middle upwards to the top. Usually, when I do a blending ombre blend, I make sure to start dark at the bottom and move my way up to light. Since this piece is very tall, I wanted to start with dark antebellum blue at the base of the project. I'm going to show you in real time, from start to finish, on the base of this project, how I started my ombre blend. It helps to use a brush that has been dampened. I use my spray misting bottle to dampen my brush before I apply my paint. Starting at the bottom of my project, over top of the dried Slick Stick, I applied my antebellum blue. I made sure to get up underneath the lip of the base of the project. With a separate brush, I'm going to apply the dried sage. Remember, I'm not going to blend my colors together on the first go of this piece. I like to lay down the initial colors of the project, where they're going to live on the piece, in order to kind of assess the situation, making sure I like where the ombre blend will occur. You're going to blend your colors on the second coat. I always like a little bit of a darker blend around the edges, so I'm going to take the dried sage and bring it up to kind of make a box in the area that I'm working on, moving from dark to light, with the lightest being in the center. Dixie Belle Paint products contain 0 VOCs. This means there's no smell. It's safe for me, my pets, and my kids. I often paint inside in my very own dining room. When you feel your paint start to drag, it gets dry fairly quickly, you're going to spray your brush with your spray misting bottle. Using a damp brush helps your paint move a little bit easier and eliminates any brush strokes. You can see on the edge where that little column is, I tried to blend the antebellum blue mixed with the dried sage. Because I had already completed the front of this project before I started the video, I wanted the two to match cohesively. Let's move into one of my favorite neutrals. This is Sawmill Gravy. I'm going to apply the Sawmill Gravy in the middle area. After I get this down, I'm going to start on my second coats and pull the colors together. You can see where the colors are just touching, they're meeting, but they're not blending together yet. Now that I've laid down my second coat over top of the Sawmill Gravy, I'm going to start to pull the Sawmill Gravy and the dried sage together. I'm going to use the same brush, even though it's going to contaminate itself a tiny bit, using my spray misting bottle to keep it damp. Pulling these colors together is not hard. You will learn how to do this the more you practice. Remember to keep a light hand. When you keep a light hand and you use short, feathery strokes, the blending becomes a little bit easier. Here's a handy dandy tip of the day. When you're ombreing or blending colors together, it's always easier to do this when you have colors that are very close together on the color wheel. The more similar your colors, the more like-minded your colors are to one another, the easier it's going to be to blend. It's always helpful when you're a new painter, when you're a beginner painter, to practice on a small board, a cupboard door, or a canvas. It's just easier to get the hang of things on a smaller area. Don't worry, you can do this. It's not hard, and at the end of the day, it's just paint. Believe me, I've painted over things before many times in my painting career. Let's blend together the antebellum blue into the dried sage. You're going to notice more of a contamination in your paintbrush when you bring those darker colors up into the light. It's not hard, you just need to make sure that you keep the two paintbrushes a little bit more separate, pulling the colors into one another to create an ombre effect. Let's work on the top of this project. I'm going to add some buttercream when I get about halfway up after the sawmill gravy. Again, it's the same technique as the base, using separate brushes to pull your colors together after the second coat. Look at that pretty blend. I'm completely happy with the way this turned out. Now get ready to add some bling. These are Would You Bend moldings. Would You Bend moldings are bendable, stainable moldings that you can add to your piece. You use a heat gun to heat them up on the back using wood glue, then apply them to your piece. You can use tape to hold it until it's dry, but you're going to want to heat it again once it's onto the surface to ensure that it's flat. Using my French tip brush, I applied Best Staying Wax in brown to all the edges and corners of the piece for depth. Since this wax is a water-based product, it's easy to use a baby wipe to wipe back the dimension and depth on the piece. Gemstone mousse in golden gem was applied to all the raised details, including that beautiful Would You Bend molding. I also applied the Best Staying Wax in brown over top of the gemstone mousse to add some extra depth to the piece. I sealed the entire cabinet in Best Staying Wax in clear. Thank you for watching my blending tutorial today. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. I enjoyed teaching you. A couple of quick tips I want you to remember is to keep a separate brush for each color, use that spray misting bottle, and blending your Dixie Belle paints is easy. I know you can do this. Practice makes perfect. Play with your paint, try it on a couple of different pieces, and see what colors you like the best. Stay tuned. I'll be back next week with another video. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye.